call this Beer Board meeting October 18th, 2011 to order. We do have a quorum. Anyone care to make a motion on the minutes from our September 20th, 2011 meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from September 20th.
I'll second them.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. New business for the evening. We have an off-premises beer permit application for Dollar General Store number 12170 located at 334 Fergus Road. Do we have someone here to represent that permit?
Yes.
If you'll please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
Joy Scott, and my address is 3804 Park Royal Lane, Antioch, Tennessee.
All right, thank you, ma'am. And your position with this Dollar General store?
I'm district manager, and my store manager is here as well.
Okay. She decided to stick you in front of the microphone, huh?
Yeah.
The joys of being manager. Does anyone have any questions? What type of training does Dollar General put y'all through prior to wanting the beer sales?
Yes, there's a CBL computerized module that all the employees have to take, and there's a certificate that's prints out. They get a training manual basically on the StoreNet, and then they take a quiz to make sure that we check proper ID and what are some of the scenarios to look forward if someone is tampering with their ID.
Okay. So all the employees that will be on a register have to go
Yeah,
through
it's
this?
mandatory for them to take that CBL. And if for a case where someone is caught selling to someone underage, they're immediately terminated.
And I'm sure that corporate has had y'all familiarize yourself with the local ordinances as well, because even if you immediately terminate the employee,
There's a fine,
you'll
possibility.
still come before this board for whatever punishment we decide to levy.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions for Dollar General to application for a permit?
No. But I'll make a motion to accept the permit.
And I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, our second order of business tonight is an off-premises beer permit application for Family Market located at 564 Waldron Road. Do we have someone here to represent that permit? Do I need to make a motion to defer, or may I just defer?
Probably be better just to have the motion.
Okay.
He still may show up before the meeting's over.
I'll make a motion to defer to the end of the meeting and ask again. Anyone care to second that motion?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. At this time, we will go into the establishments that have been accused of selling alcohol to minors. If we can have the officer come up and explain what took place to have these businesses come before us.
Two officers,
One that has the best knowledge of what happened in that time.
Which case? Which?
Oh, I'm sorry. The first one that we'll be doing is Neighborhood Market at Dick Buchanan. I understand what you mean now. Y'all, each of you did separate cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Gotcha.
On April 23rd, 2011, approximately 2:45 in the afternoon, we wired a underage person with video and audio mic, sent them inside the store where they attempted to purchase alcohol underage. At this location, it was sold to the underage person. However, upon our return to the store, the person working behind the counter could not be identified or located. The owner of the store stated it was a friend, and when we contacted him on the phone, he refused to give us any information or to return to the store.
And which of the other ones tonight are possibly yours?
The other ones that are mine tonight are going to be Tobacco Brew and Chew, Food Line, Thai Cafe, Zach's Market, and On the Run.
Zach's Market
Okay.
and Tiger Market.
I don't believe all of those are
They're
represented
not all
tonight.
tonight, you're correct.
3, 4, and 6 on the agenda.
Gotcha. Okay. So as for the neighborhood market that you just described, the actual seller for the store, we were not able to do any kind of prosecution because we don't know who they were?
Correct. The store owner gave a vague name, but when we contacted him via phone, couldn't ascertain any personal information. He stated he'd come to the store. We waited for about an hour and a half and called him back, and he refused to answer. All we have at this point is a photo.
Okay. All right. Do we have someone here to represent Neighborhood Market?
Yes.
And if you'd please come to the podium. Thank you, sir.
Hi, Don. My name is Izzuddin Najing. I own that store,
Okay.
and basically what we do is me and my brothers, cousins, we open locations and we sell them. And that day I was busy. I had a long day, and then we just opened about like 2 months ago. So everything kind of slow. So
Can I
don't
stop
ha-
you for just a second? I need to ask you, do you agree that someone that you put in charge of the register did sell to a
I did
minor?
not. I didn't put him on charge for a register. He just comes down there, hang out with me. So that day I had to go to the restroom, and I told him just watch out for the store. And I didn't even know the whole thing until the second Monday. Monday they came in. They told me that there was a person who sold beer, you know. So I called him because he's my friend. I don't actually know where he lived at or anything. So I called him. He answers. I told him what happened. After that, I kept calling. He never answers. And then I heard from my friends he was out of state, you know. But basically, I mean, if you search my name, I respect the laws. I always, and actually Monday that day we were selling the store on Monday. And I had no idea about what's going on or nothing.
So is this store still in
No,
under your care?
we
or
sold
it's
it that
already been
day.
sold?
No, we sold it that day, Monday.
With it no longer being, okay, you sold it that Monday. Have the new owners applied for a permit?
Yeah, yeah.
They're no longer carrying yours? Okay.
Yeah.
With it no longer being a permit in their name and no one that was actually brought to justice?
Well, I think the first thing you may want to establish is whether or not he disputes that beer was sold to a minor in his store.
At this point, I've asked that question. He's
Well, I
saying
think
he
he
has
said
no
that
knowledge.
he didn't put the guy in charge, that he just showed up, but I think we probably ought to establish whether or not beer was sold to a minor in
Right.
the store.
Did he sell beer?
I have no idea because the store we just opened it 2 months ago. I don't have a cameras in there yet, and basically nobody works with me because it's kind of slow, and the store doesn't afford for 2 employers, just 1 employer. So I used to open and close basically.
So
So
So you just left a friend out there just to?
I mean, I had
just
to go
hang
to the
out?
bathroom for like 5-6 minutes. I'm actually by myself. Even if they asked the neighborhood all the time, they would have told you they always see me because we just opened it. You know, it wasn't all like busy. Only gets on Fridays and Thursdays. That's it.
But the officer shows us a picture of your friend behind the counter.
Yeah, but
And
I don't know,
you
man.
left him there.
Yeah, I left him there and I went to the bathroom as a friend. I don't know he was gonna ring, and if I had an idea, like even if something happened like this, he would have ID'd. But I guess he didn't care because he never, he didn't work there, he didn't own it, so he just sold it, I didn't even know when I came back. He didn't tell me nothing about it, unless when the officer came on Monday, and I was scared. I was like, what's going on, Because I was in the process of selling the store on Monday, and we signed the papers and everything. And I was like, what's going on? What happened? You know what I mean?
Understand.
And if you search my name, I stay legit. I respect the laws. I never do nothing like this.
So what was your friend supposed to do if someone came in to buy something? Was he supposed to help them there at the counter? Or?
No, I always tell him just
or-
wait until I be back, because he don't
Okay.
be there all the time. Just sometimes, and I had so many friends that come to visit me. You know, it's not just
So
him.
you trusted this friend with your cash register and everything there,
It was slow. I don't leave cash in the store.
but you didn't
Basically,
know.
at the
But you didn't know or where he lived or anything like that.
No, because he's an Arabic, and we basically doesn't visit nobody's house, and he don't even come to my house because we have family, you know. So why would he come to my house? You know what I mean? So I ain't never been to his house. But like I said, even the business was slow. Like daily we make like $900, $700. On Thursdays, Fridays we make $1,200. I mean, we get orders. So basically the cash register was like $40, $80 inside the cash register. You know what I mean?
So when you closed up that day, there was no way to prove that he had sold alcohol or?
I could not even tell except Monday when they came and told me, you know? How would I know? And the store didn't even have cameras. Even the new owner, I don't think so he got a camera yet.
Any advice on this one?
Well, I mean, I think you just have a decision to make based on the proof. You can certainly have more proof from the police officer, or you can ask him questions, but at some point, you know, you just have to decide what you want to do. And in terms of whether or not he has an active beer permit or not, I think you can whatever act you decide to take can be to the extent that he has an applicable beer permit. I don't know what effect that might have on his future ability to get a beer permit if he violated the ordinance. If you find he violated the ordinance, you hadn't made a finding yet at that part. But you've got two findings. You've got two things to do. You've got to find whether or not the beer ordinance was violated, and then if it was, then to the extent that he has an active beer permit, which he may or may not have, I don't know. I mean, I understand what he's saying. Then you go ahead and move forward on it one way or the other.
No, actually, right now I'm still looking for business, and I'm looking for locations. And I would like, you know, I'll do anything just to keep my name in good status, you know. But I would never want to, you know, mess up my name or lose my name. And I know as soon in the future, like 2, 3, 4 months, I will be inside the business or have my name inside the business, you know.
And you can keep in mind, Madam Chairman, you also have the ability to offer a civil penalty in lieu of a suspension, if he's interested in that.
This question's more for the officer. Other than just a picture of the seller, do you have a picture of the item that was purchased?
That was taken into evidence.
Okay. But there were pictures made of the item that was purchased as well that went through the court process?
I believe the evidence has all that, including the evidence logs.
Anyone care to make a motion?
I'm going to abstain from voting on this one due to my absence.
Can I trade chairs with you?
The details on, I think it was the 24 ounce can of Bud and Bomb.
I'll make a motion due to the circumstances of this particular situation that it's not an active beer permit at this time. However, this gentleman does choose to continue to look for locations in the area.
I mean, not in the area.
Or, well,
Yeah.
you've already stated that you intend to
Yeah, I
continue
will.
the practices that brought you here today.
Yeah.
To stop one of those practices of leaving people that are not actually employees at the register, I am making a motion to suggest that we do a $500 civil penalty for the sale to the minor that we have evidence of through the officers.
Madam Chairman, under the ordinance, that's got to be as an alternative to a suspension or revocation.
With the no active beer permit, how can I do a suspension or
Well,
revocation?
that's the issue. I agree it's unique, but we've got to go by what we've got. So
Gotcha.
you've got to either, I mean, I guess the motion would look like motion to suspend for whatever period of time you think is appropriate, or in the alternative, pay a fine. But you've got to give him the option. You can't force him to pay the civil penalty.
Understood. Let's rescind that motion completely. Members of the board, I'm at a loss for the simple fact that we have, other than the officer's proof of pictures and their detailed statement, we have no admittance that alcohol was sold. We have no active permit.
I'll make a motion to table this one till next month,
Defer.
defer this one till next month, and see if there's any other evidence that comes up.
I'm gonna second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
Okay.
That way we can look into this a little bit more.
All right, do you understand what we're doing in order to give the board a little more time to look into this one and see what our options are as a board? We're going to defer your case until next month and have you come back on the third Tuesday again next month with it in order to give you a decision at that time.
Okay, so what if recently, like, I find a new business, but it's out of state in Jackson? I mean, out of city, like in Jackson, Tennessee?
As long as you're here third Tuesday of next month,
So I should be fine?
that's up to you.
What's the date again?
15.
The 15th of November.
November. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. We can have Officer Stats come back and let us know about Zach's Tobacco Market, please, which is the next order of business.
Yes, ma'am. On 4/23 at exactly 6:27 p.m., we went to Zach's Tobacco, and the undercover juvenile bought a can of Bud Light Lime, 24-ounce can. It was audio and videotaped. We made contact with the person who did it, Melissa Gaines,
Okay.
and she was cited and found guilty in court, and the disposition should be in the records that I submitted to the Beer Board.
And do we have Miss Melissa Gaines here with us this evening? Do we have anyone here this evening in connection to Zach's Tobacco Market?
Madam Chairman, if I may,
Yes, sir.
I sent the notice as required on October the 3rd to the address that we had on file from Ms. Gaines. Notice was left by the Postal Service on October the 5th, and as of today, she had not picked up that notice. Here again, this is another unique case because this store was also sold to a new owner, and a permit was granted by this board a month or two ago. And so we're kind of the same situation as the previous item.
Well, then I make a motion to defer this to next month to see if we have anyone to show up for that said permit.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, I'm going to skip on the agenda to number 6 for Tiger Market, which I think Officer Stats also did.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful.
On April 23rd at approximately 1:23 in the afternoon, we sent an undercover juvenile in, or undercover underage person into Tiger Market, 104 Fergus Road, at which time he made contact with a Miss Dolores Gurmo. He attempted to purchase a can, one-pint can of Yuengling lager beer, at which time she told him, she looked at his ID, told him he couldn't purchase it. As he started to leave, he called her back, or she called him back, and then sold it to him.
Okay. And do we have anyone here representing the Tiger Market or Miss Dolores Burnham?
Mike Campbell, I represent Tiger Market. Unfortunately, I haven't sold my store.
Tried to say you look a little familiar there, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Say that too.
So, sir, do you admit that one of your employees sold alcohol to a minor on this occasion?
Apparently she did. As the officer explained, apparently it was extenuating circumstances there. She actually had been trained as a responsible vendor at Kangaroo and had worked for them for 6 to 7 months. Came to work for us and was like a 1-month employee. She'd gone through our training program as well, and as the officer stated, when the young man or woman, I don't remember what it is, it's so long ago, the girl kept putting it off, but anyway, when she came in to attempt to purchase alcohol, she did refuse, did exactly what she was supposed to do, and for whatever reason, the police chief called me the next morning to let me know what had occurred, because I believe this gentleman will testify as well. He's in the store all the time and sees us carding day and night, night and day. The police chief says he's in there all the time, sees us carding all the time as well. And he said this is the most unusual thing he'd ever seen. The girl actually refused the sale. They turned to leave, and the girl said, hey, hey, wink, wink, nod, nod, and had the guy come back to the counter and sold the product to him. You know, I'm really at a loss. I've been trying to figure out what else we could have done, possibly, other than, you know, to get this person to refuse to sell, because she knew what to do. Obviously, she refused to sell, and for whatever reason, took it upon herself to go ahead and sell that product to that individual. But you know, she never would say why she did it. You know, she wouldn't give us any explanation. When we found out, of course, when the police chief called me, I called my folks, and we let her go immediately. But we have had for more than a year now, since back in May of 2010. We've gone to the TIPS training that was offered, you know, over in Rutherford County. We had all that done, and I got, you know, letter after letter after letter from the state where we refuse sale of cigarettes to, you know, those guys when they come in time after time. And like I said, I don't know if you can testify, but I think he can tell you he sees it every day. And like I said, in this case, I don't know why she decided to sell to that young person.
I know that in the past you had told us you were trying to get responsible vendor. Did you ever accomplish that for this
Did
store?
not. Like I said, it was close as we got. We got all these TIPS training things, and the guy's supposed to send me the information so we can be responsible vendors. And we are in the midst of that. And although being a responsible vendor, I guess is a proof in this case. Even though the lady was trained, she is responsible vendor trained. The only thing it would do is save me from being, you know, slammed on in this case. But
You're right. Responsible vendor will not stop the sales
that's right.
by your employees, but it will stop you.
Protects
Yes,
you a
ma'am.
little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
This being first third offense that I've had since I've been on this board for 10 or 11 years now.
I would ask you, I don't know what the jury, whatever, the panel, I would ask, like I said, if you would consider the fact that it wasn't, like I say, yeah, they did sell, but it wasn't the typical, you know, blatant, I think, you know, sale to a minor kind of thing.
And Madam Chairman, don't forget that you need to, got two things you've got to do. You've got to first have a finding by the board whether or not the ordinance was violated. You've got to have a vote on that first, and then you vote on the penalty phase after that.
Okay. We do have the owner admitting at this point, so I'll make a motion to the board as to whether you agree. This is not wording right. Let's try this again. I make a motion that, yes, this permit holder has violated our ordinance. Anyone care to second that motion?
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Does anyone care to make a motion on the penalty phase?
I think in regards to penalty and the comment about the circumstance under which this occurred, I think it's important for us to remember this is just the instance where you were caught. You know, how many other times have, you know, 16, 18, 19-year-olds gone in there and purchased alcohol and not been coordinating with the police department? It surprises me that this continues to happen at this Tiger Market. I believe this is where the police officers gas up most of the time, isn't it?
It is surprising, isn't it? Yeah.
I understand it's part of your business. We want businesses to be successful in the city, but I don't know. Every year, it seems like this Tiger Market is back in front of us. So,
You know, 2008, 2010, and now, yes.
3 times in 4 years. And I'm pretty sure you've been here for one of my spells.
think I've been
on
here
how
every
much
time. Yes,
I've been
ma'am.
on
Yes,
the
ma'am. I
youth
told
in
us-
this community.
I told my
and-
folks I'd rather take a beating than come in here.
Well, I hate to tell you, we've set precedents on first offense, second offense.
Yes, ma'am.
You're about to be our precedents for third offense.
And you know it's not good.
I really hope I don't see you on a
I
fourth
hope I don't
offense.
see you either, ma'am.
Anyone have any other questions or care to make a motion?
Make a motion to suspend his license for 6 months.
I'm gonna have to second it. Hopefully in that 6 months, you'll get responsible vendor in case one of your employees decide to do this to you again.
I would love for you to have the responsible vendor.
Yeah, me too.
And
Then
I'm sure
this
Mr.
wouldn't
Haywood
be a discussion. I mean,
at TBA would love to deal with you. He's a real nice man.
Yeah.
even though we're not pushing.
I've actually spoke to him a couple times, actually.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for 6-month penalty. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Aye. Okay. All right. Do we actually need to state that the beer permits as of tonight for 6 months is being taken and have an officer assigned to go retrieve the beer permit?
And make sure that the cabinets or the
Secured.
coolers are secured and locked up.
And if I'm guessing right, Officer McGowan is the officer that was in charge of the Queen Discount Tobacco? If you can come to this podium and tell us a little bit about that one, please, sir.
Queen Discount Tobacco and Beer, same situation with Officer Stats, same undercover, same coordinating agencies. This time, the undercover went in and purchased a Michelob Ultra Light, 1-pint can. The clerk in this situation did ask for ID, but still sold them undercover.
Does anyone have any questions for the officer? Okay. You have a seat, sir. Thank you. Do we have anyone here to represent the Queen Discount Tobacco and Beer? If you'd please come to the podium, sir. State your name and address for the record.
My name is Nagib Fahmi, 606 Old Road. I'm owner for the business.
All right. And do you admit that someone in your employ or yourself did sell alcohol to a minor on this date?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, sir. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion for the board that a motion that this permit holder had actually broken our ordinance. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Is the person who sold to the minor still in your employ, sir?
Yes, he employee and he work a long time after, you remember, if you check the file, the first record sale beer underage in March.
If you will, excuse me, speak into the mic a little bit louder.
Okay. First time when we get the beer sale underage was in March 9, 2009. And from this date, we change everybody over there. As mean, some people work have good experience, but it's happened on this date in Saturday, April 23rd, 2011, when the person sell beer, he has a problem because he lost his brother in Egypt. You know what about situation? So he gets this mistake, but he doesn't do it. As mean, he doesn't like do that. But this has happened because situation is very worse with him. So he is already sailed, and he is now in Egypt, and you know what has happened in Egypt. So for this reason it's happened, but I declare for everybody, for a check ID, for everything, because 2 years we haven't any problem between first one and the second one. 2 years and months.
Okay.
You haven't been caught in a sting in 2 years, which I believe has been done once per year. So that doesn't mean that there hasn't been any selling of minors. It means that you haven't been caught in the past 2 years.
No, we didn't do that from March 9, 2009 until April 23rd, 2011. So more than 2 years. But we declare for everybody, but this is happened for situation, not is happened because he do that or he like make mistake or break the law.
And I didn't understand now, he's still here in your employment or he's over in Egypt?
No, he is left because he has
Okay.
bad situation. But already he went to the court.
He stayed in employment because he was given diversion and probation.
Okay.
And and our ordinance states, as long as they're not convicted, they may stay an employee.
I just thought I heard that he had gone
And
back
he has,
to Egypt.
yeah, he had later, after going to court, went back to Egypt.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm assuming if he comes back from Egypt, you would still continue to employ this gentleman?
No, because he already get mistake. We can't keep him.
Okay,
If he
understood.
breaks the law one more time, I can't declare for him or keep it. But the reason what has happened for this reason, not for keep it.
Understood. Does anyone have any other questions? I will inform the board, as I stated in front of the owner of the Tiger Market, we have set precedent on this board in past hearings like these of a first offense being 14 days or a civil penalty. Yes, sir.
Just for the record, if he's left the country and he's not here for his diversion year, after that 1 year, that would be
An automatic
violation
conviction.
of the court order. It would be a conviction.
Well, the gentleman said he won't hire him back, so that would not be in violation of our ordinance at that time. It would be on the individual at that time.
It's a great point.
Thank you, yes.
Thank you, and do appreciate that. Our precedence was second offense was 45 days, and of course, as of tonight, we set third offense at 6 months, unless, of course, they're responsible vendors. Sir, are you a responsible vendor through the TBA for the state of Tennessee? I'd say from the look that you've not gone through the responsible vendor course with the Tennessee alcoholic beverages.
What do you mean?
There is a course that you can take through the state of Tennessee that allows a permit holder to not exceed $1,000 fine if you are a responsible vendor in these situations. But if you have not gone through this course and have not had your other employees taking this course, then this board is not bound by the responsible vendor.
Already I have ABC card for surface alcohol from 1996, and I will be renew every.
Okay. The ABC card and responsible vendor are two different things. The next time you go to get your ABC card renewed, ask them about the responsible vendor, and they will give you the information. Okay.
Okay.
Does anyone have any other questions, comments, or a motion? At this time, I will make the motion to stay with our precedents of 45 days suspension on this permit.
And I'll second.
Wait a second.
All of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Basically, sir, what that means is for 45 days, you cannot sell beer.
What is other? Just one choice only for this one?
For this one, that's the
Yes.
only choice. We don't have a civil penalty on a second offense. So for 45 days, you cannot sell beer.
Not like
There's
get class or
there's
anything?
no money you can pay for this one. This is just strict 45 days. And if nothing else, what this 45 days is intended to do is to allow your patrons to know if they want to be able to have the convenience of buying beer in your establishment, is to help you make sure that minors are not sold to in your store. Because that's our intention on this board, is just ensuring that our youth are not able to purchase. And by doing the 45 days or the 6 months to the other gentleman is more so to make sure that the community also understands that we're wanting to keep our youth safe. So that's why this board has gone to this precedence, and at this time, you've got 45 days as of today not to sell beer. And at the end of on that 46th day, you're welcome to go back to it. Okay?
So it's 45 days, no sale beer?
Right.
Yes, sir.
Start from which time?
Starting today.
Right now. Okay.
So once you go back to your store, you need to shut down your beer coolers, and in 46 days from now, you can reopen.
You can sell all the tobacco you want to.
All right. Do we have any other orders of business for this evening? Oh, yes, we do. Going back to the deferment. Do we have any, sir?
You gonna see if he's got any other questions?
Did you have anything else you wanted to ask, sir?
No.
All right, sir. Thank you. Do we have anyone for the family market located at 564 Waldron Road? I make a motion to defer it to next month. Anyone care to second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We have any other business to attend to? This meeting is closed.